Go, get off the site.
Please remain standing for the presentation of the colors and the singing of the national anthem. You may be seated. Good evening and welcome, Providence Grove family, friends, parents, staff, teachers, special guests, and most importantly, the class of 2022. As we assemble tonight to commemorate our accomplishments over the past 4 years, I'd like us all to take time to think about the moments we've all spent together. I would like to point out that as a graduating class, we spent nearly half of our high school career separated and working from home. Although we cannot ignore the consequences of the global pandemic, I am proud to say that we have learned the lesson of community. As John Bonnier once said, one marvelous thing about community is that it enables us to work together. The marvelous thing about community is it enables us to welcome and help people in a way we couldn't as individuals. I'm delighted to say, in the few years we have been able to spend with each other, we have accomplished this at Providence Grove. From football games to 5Ks, we have fostered community. Although our PG community is missing a few loved ones tonight, I'm rest assured that they are with us in spirit. As we go our separate ways, I hope we can carry this lesson of community with us and allow it to ripple out as we create new communities wherever we may go. We are not just 143 students graduating tonight. We are the class of 2022. As we depart on our own adventures, I encourage you to take the class and spirit of 2022 with you. Thank you.
Good evening. On behalf of Providence Grove High School, I am pleased to welcome you to the graduation ceremony recognizing the class of 2022. The guests of honor joining me on the platform are Ms. Alicia Timmons, Assistant Principal, Mr. Lee Miller, Assistant Principal, Ms. Donna Brown, Instructional Lead Teacher, Ms. Erin Stalker, selected by the class of 2022 to speak on behalf of the faculty of Providence Grove High School. From the Central Office Administrative Staff, Ms. Edwina Ashworth, Executive Director of the Administrative Services for Students in Driver Education. From the Randolph County Board of Education, Mr. Fred Burgess. From the Randolph County Board of Commissioners, Mr. David L. Allen, Vice Chair. I would also like to introduce the mascots for the class of 2022. Ms. Beckham Thomas, daughter of Tim Jones and Martha Way. Master Reese Stalker, son of Craig and Erin Stalker. Finally, to the parents, family members, faculty, staff, and other guests in attendance, we appreciate you being here to celebrate the accomplishments of the class of 2022. For their senior gift for the school, the graduating class enhanced the beauty of the school's outdoor seating area by adding umbrellas to the picnic tables. A plaque to commemorate the new Patriot patio will be placed there. Thank you guys for that. It is now my privilege to introduce our valedictorian of the class of 2022. This year's valedictorian is Alyssa Beasley, daughter of Andy and Dee Beasley of Liberty.
Thank you, Principal Thompson. Good evening, fellow students, administration, faculty members, family, and friends. We never thought this day would come. We prayed for its quick delivery, crossed days off our calendars, counted hours, minutes, and seconds. Now that it's here, I'm somewhat sorry it is because it means leaving friends who inspire me, teachers who've been my mentors, so many people who shaped my life, and my friends' lives forever. Nevertheless, I'm also proud and excited that we've made it to this milestone. This graduation ceremony is not an end goal in itself. It is the first step into our adulthood, into the rest of our lives. I know that for the majority of our childhood, saying the rest of our lives sounded like something that was far away, something that wouldn't ever come. Little did we know that it would be here faster than we knew. Today, class of 22, the rest of our lives are upon us. So the question remains, what will we do with them? Our adulthood seems like something that will last forever, but that is exactly what we pictured of our childhood and our high school years. In that same way, the rest of our lives will pass in the blink of an eye. The saying is true. Time is indeed a thief. But do you know what a more devastating thief is? Dreaming without doing. It's time to take action, to take hold of the reins of our lives and do something. Dreams can be just as fleeting as time. My fellow graduates, it's time to be doers. Many of us in this room have dreams. Whether you know exactly what you plan to do, or whether you're still searching for your passion, each of us has a hope for the future. Both of these are okay, but you must keep moving forward no matter what. And as you move forward, make sure that you are moving in the direction that you want to go. If you don't listen to anything else I say while I'm up here, zone back in and hear me say this. You are meant to live your life and nobody else's. To be quite honest with you, one of my greater faults is basing my work and success upon the opinions of others. Seeking to please others while putting my own personal needs on the back burner is something I struggle with a lot. I'm here to tell you today what a mistake that is. Don't get me wrong. It is important to be kind and to serve others, but that is not the only important thing that you must carry into your adulthood. Fellow graduates, the best thing that you can do with the rest of your life is live your life. Live your life exactly the way you desire to. Just a little while ago, a friend of mine brought to my attention a video that was made at the end of my freshman year. In this video, my friends and I recorded advice for our future selves, for these people that we had dreamt up and one day hoped to become. I will tell you briefly what my 14-year-old, little freshly into high school, couldn't even drive yet self had to say. It's advice that, although I'm sure I was just saying whatever would make me sound smart, is very applicable to the message that I'm trying to get across to you all today. In the video, what freshman Alyssa had to say was this: don't be afraid to do something just because of what other people might think. Do the things that make you proud of yourself. Pretty wise for a 14-year-old, if I do say so myself. 3 years later, what I have to gather from these words is this: don't waste your adulthood trying to live someone else's life. Take this first step of high school graduation and make it count. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. It can be easy to get sucked into worrying about what others think, how successful they might be, or how different your path is from theirs. But I'm telling you right now to stop that. Have the courage to follow your heart and your intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. As long as you're doing instead of dreaming, doing what makes you the proudest of yourself, you're a success in my book. So, class of 2022, thank you for everything. Stay unforgettable.
I would now like to introduce the Salutatorian of the class of 2022. This year's Salutatorian is Emanuela Trine, daughter of Wong Trine and Bonnie Carmen.
Thank you, Principal Thompson. Hello, faculty, family, friends, guests, and fellow graduates. When looking into how to write a memorable and engaging salutatorian speech, I came across the recommendation of asking my fellow peers how they would have liked to, or what they would like to have heard during a main address. Well, whoever suggested this has obviously never come into contact with a high schooler, as everyone I asked instructed me to keep it as short as possible, or say something truly obscene that definitely would not have made it past the first draft. This, of course, did not help me in my pursuit of writing a unique speech, so I was back to the drawing board. My biggest fear in writing a speech is that it would fall into the same sappy and tired pattern that my classmates were dreading, talking about how bright the future is and exclaiming that this is the first day of the rest of our lives, offering poignant, often not so insightful, accounts of advice. After taking all of this into account, I am sure of one thing: there is absolutely no way to write this speech without it being a cliche, so why not embrace it? Throughout our time in high school, we are cautioned with countless adages, each intended to place upon us the paramount values of life. I'm sure each student sitting in front of me has had someone tell them to strike while the iron is hot. Don't put off until tomorrow, we can do today. That practice makes perfect, and the early bird gets the worm. Well, my stack of party slips would beg to differ. Of all these cliches we are embedded with throughout our lives, I want to encourage you to keep one close to your heart, to think outside of the box. As you take your next steps out into the world, whatever they may be, remember to explore all opportunities from multiple perspectives, to not let rules limit your capacity for originality, and to never let the hardships of life tarnish your intrinsic ingenuity. Find conviction in your abilities and the distinct attributes that make you who you are, because let's be honest, no one's going to be a better you than you. If I can say one thing for certain, it's that the graduating class of 2022 has had anything but a typical high school experience. From a global pandemic to virtual learning, we have had no choice but to flourish in our less than ideal situation. These unforeseen circumstances have better equipped our minds to think outside of the box. As a class, we have mastered the art of adaptability and resilience, lessons that we can take with us into our next steps. A very wise teacher once said that school was not teaching us, but instead teaching us how to learn. As we embark on the next stage of our lives and truly begin to learn how to successfully navigate adulthood, may we take these lessons with us and become better versions of ourselves. Although our time is ending here at Providence Grove, it is only the beginning of the infinite possibilities that stand before us, our moment to become independent, open-minded thinking individuals. As we leave this graduation tonight, we all have within us the capability to be divergent in our thoughts. As Scott Fitzgerald said it best, either you think or others have to think for you and take power from you. As you proceed into whatever the future holds for you, remember to seek out the things that bring you happiness, to not allow fear to keep you from choosing kindness, and more than anything, I challenge you not only to think, but to live outside of the box.
Hello students, guests, and faculty. My name is Kinley Ferguson, and I'm the class president for the class of 2022. When I was younger, I remember asking my teacher, what does it mean when they say we are the class of 2022? They would simply respond, that is the year you will graduate high school. It seemed far away, and I could not wait. As elementary and middle school passed, my anticipation to graduate increased. I would express this anticipation to my parents, to which they would respond, it would go by in the blink of an eye. I did not believe them. As I was being dropped off at Providence Grove for my first day of high school, I was so scared. Seeing all these new faces made me nervous. I recall the first football game I attended, and there were so many people. As a freshman cheerleader on the varsity squad, I was intimidated by the crowd, but I still had a fantastic time. As time went on, I made more new friends and made some of the best memories that year. Freshman year passed quickly, and so did the first half of sophomore year. However, during the second semester of sophomore year, a new virus came around unexpectedly. I remember talking about the danger of this virus in my anatomy class and brushing it off because I did not believe it would get that bad. I was wrong. First, COVID stopped athletics mid-season, and school was dismissed for 2 weeks. Those 2 weeks turned into the whole semester. Students and teachers had to learn anew how to do school online versus face-to-face. As I watched the current seniors mourn over their loss of their senior year, I hoped that would not happen to me too. As junior year rolled around, the pandemic crisis had its ups and downs. It would be fairly normal for a few months, and then it would become worse again in the next. During this time, students had to endure hybrid learning. Despite the efforts of our teachers, this time was difficult for everyone. Nonetheless, we made the best of the situation. Unlike the last half of our sophomore year, we were able to play sports in our junior year. Although the seasons were shorter, everyone craved social engagement, and sports were very popular to attend. As junior year ended and we were approaching the start of our senior year, something very tragic happened. We lost a friend, teammate, classmate, and an overall amazing girl. Lily had a beautiful soul and a heart of gold. She was a very talented and accomplished runner and a dear friend to all. At the time of her death, I saw our community's heart shatter right before my eyes. But something very beautiful happened afterwards. I saw our community and our class unite. I have never witnessed more support from my peers in the community than during that time. We kicked off our senior year with senior sunrise and watched a beautiful sunrise to begin our first week. We had about reached the end of our high school career, therefore our course load was lighter than normal. Nonetheless, school is school, and everyone cannot wait for Friday, especially Friday night football games. I can still recall watching our senior boys' faces as they secured the win against Randleman. I have never seen a happier team. The football team had a great record and even made it to the state playoffs. As football ended and I watched the senior players realize that they had just played their last high school football game, it started to dawn on me how fast the year was passing. I started to wish that time would just slow down, but time marches on. Basketball season began, and shortly thereafter, it was basketball senior night. As a cheerleader, we were honored during the basketball senior night too. As I watched my friends walk across the court with flowers and senior goodies in hand, my heart began to sink as I realized this is the last time I would cheer with the girls that I have cheered with since elementary and middle school. At this point, I was begging for time to stop. But once again, time marches on. Providence Grove sports teams did very well my senior year. Women's softball and soccer teams made it to playoffs, and women's track won conference for the second year in a row. Around April, anticipation began to fill the air as college decisions were finalized and we began our last senior festivities. We voted on senior superlatives, scholarship applications were completed, and prom was right around the corner. When prom night arrived, everyone was excited. And as always, prom was a great time. The last month of our senior year had arrived. RCC and AP exams were completed in the first week of May, and the realization of graduating in a month was setting in for everyone. Almost all of us were completely stress-free regarding classes, so all we had to do was sit and wait for graduation to roll around. Towards the end of May, we had our senior awards and capping ceremony. Seniors were recognized for their achievements in school and some sports. At the end of the ceremony, we were able to show our parents and loved ones our full graduation regalia. Afterwards, we walked the halls of our middle school and elementary schools. It is hard to believe that I was in these children's shoes not so long ago. And believe me when I say it, before they know it, they will be in mine. We have waited for this moment all of our lives, and to say we earned it is an understatement. We have endured 3 long years of online and hybrid classes thanks to COVID, while someone very special and conquered difficult classes. These experiences were hard, but our senior class has overcome these challenges and has made many memories. Like our senior quote says, we didn't know we were making memories, we just knew we were having fun. Everything eventually ends, and as much as I have looked forward to this day, I have always disliked endings and goodbyes. I wish everyone happy adventures, new friendships, amazing experiences, and memories to last a lifetime. Wherever we may go in life, I know we will succeed. Congratulations, class of 2022.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here with us tonight as we celebrate this milestone. I'm here to introduce this year's faculty speaker that was voted on by the senior class. Our speaker this year is Erin Stalker. She has been at Providence Grove for 9 years, and 6 of those were spent in functional skills, the last 3 being as an English teacher. I had the biggest privilege of having her as my senior English teacher this past semester. She creates the most fun and encouraging learning environment and is devoted to teaching. A lot of people have teachers who have changed their high school experience in some way, and she has been mine. She has made this last semester here so insightful and fun as I prepare to take the next step of my life, and making her a huge role model for me because of her spirit and her dedication. There is no one that I would rather hear from at my graduation. It is my absolute honor to welcome Ms. Erin Stalker.
Thank you, Abby. Good evening. For years, I have tormented you with writing papers and public speaking and class presentations. Well, held the turntables. I was given this assignment and immediately realized that I didn't know what to do or where even to start, so I did what many of you do. No, I did not cheat. I Googled it. A quick search, I was flooded with words like greatness and impact and lasting impression, which I found entirely unhelpful. Unfortunately, Google could tell me what to do, but it couldn't tell me what to say. So I thought back to what has been said to me in my life that I consider great and impactful and left a lasting impression. At this point, I should probably turn to the words of someone like Gandhi or Thoreau or someone really wise like Taylor Swift. But I wanted to share with you something that the wisest person I know once told me. In the late 1900s, before I left for college, my grandmother hugged me and she said, "Remember who you are and whose you are." Remember who you are. Knowing who you are may be easy for a few of you. You rest comfortably in the person that you have grown to be, and you have thrived over the past few years. For most of you, that probably isn't the case. High school years can be hard, and we recognize that your class's experience has been uniquely difficult. You're going to spend the next few years figuring out who you are, your identity, and honestly, here's a little secret. We spend most of our lives trying to figure out who we are. The relationships, careers, and conflicts in your life shape your identity, and as those things change, so do you. What doesn't and shouldn't change is who you are at your core. The hard part is how to figure that out. Do you take a fancy online personality test, like the Enneagram, life coaches, spiritual leaders, mentors, counselors, hire a therapist? The simplest way to know who you are is to decide on your core values and beliefs. Look at times when you took a stand for something, or maybe you didn't and you wish you had. Consider people in your life that you collect as heroes and mentors. What do they stand for? Most of the time you're going to see a common theme. Next, be willing to change your environment, not yourself. Your environment impacts who you are by a lot. The people that you interact with and the situations that you are faced with on a regular basis will dramatically influence your thoughts and your motivation and your mood. Spend your time with people who align with your values instead of struggling to fit in with your environment. Finally, realize that your identity is not fixed. For those of you who are confident in who you are, please resist the temptation to get stuck there. Who you are changes with new experience and with lessons learned. Take time every so often to reevaluate. Don't be afraid to grow and evolve and change. Remember who you are. Remember whose you are. Of course, my grandmother with that last part had a higher power in mind when she said those words to me, but I believe the sentiment holds true. Remember whose you are and let that guide the choices that you make. Look around. Seriously, look around. Look at this place. Everyone on this field has someone who is there for him or her. You are blessed to have an entire community cheering for you and praying for you and challenging you and loving you. When you succeed, we are so proud. And when you fail, we feel that disappointment at our core with you. Our tragedies, and your triumphs are ours too. This place, this community, this is whose you are. So I beg you, please don't take that lightly. In a few minutes, when you walk across the stage, you will become a graduate of Providence Grove High School, a Patriot alum. Make that mean something. Remember who you are and whose you are. I have so much more to say to you. Pieces of a poem that I want to read, maybe a pun or two, you know how it goes. But I promise some of you that the ceremony will be over by 9:20. So, thank you for giving me a few final minutes with you. I love you all. Congratulations.
It is now time for the presentation of the diplomas. In keeping with the dignity of the occasion, the audience is asked to remain quiet until all diplomas have been received and the entire program is completed. Parents and family members are invited to stand and be recognized as their senior's name is called.
Colin Alexander Adams. Alyssa Deanne Beasley. Sophie Bell Blakely. Abby Marie Burgess. Amber Ann Busk. Jalen McKenna Campbell. Zane Todd Cottle.
I love you.
Maria Soraya Espinoza Pineda. Kinley Elizabeth Ferguson. David Brooks Freeman Jr. Morgan Renee Brewer. Sarah Elizabeth Giori. Lee Gary Hardison. Daniel Bo Martin. Willow Cortland Maynard. Riley Harrison Newsom. William Smith Shackelford. Grace Marie Simpson. Luke Douglas Thomas. Emanuela Jordan Euheen Tron. Curtis Wayne Wade III. Bryson Cruz Allen. Joseph Pena Aranda. Alexandra Arias. Trenton Haywood Armentrout. Evelyn Arlette Arredondo Prieto. Amaya E. Austin. Andrew Jonathan Ball. William Christian Balance. Rebecca Balthazar Sorato. Yesenia Milagro Benitez Blanco. Maston Montgomery Berry. Olivia Rose Boone. Kristen Lee Brady. Brett Lee Breedlove. Zachary Michael Brooks. Justin Thomas Buss. Laylee Alexa Cagle. Jeremiah Allen Cheney. Colin Joseph Clark. Josie Darlene Kleiner. Amaria Deshay Coltrane. Aria J. Coltrane. Marissa Michelle Cortez Hunt. Billy Allison Cox. Seth Nathaniel Cox. Antonia Vivette De La Rosa Williamson. Emma Lynn English. Let's go, Emma! Catherine Martina Esparza. Benjamin Aiden Faircloth. Michael Jamal Fee. Abraham Noah Fernandez. McKinley Grace Flincham. Mason Jeffrey Falwell. Kevin Lamont Folk Jr. Leonardo Abel Garcia Ramos. Preston Andrew Hackett. Riley Shea Haycock. Branson Brian Hardy. Christopher Jake Harris. Katie May Hyatt. Elena Gail Henshaw. Zane Garrison Holloway. Justin Jeffrey Horn. Carlin Sloan Ienaron. Chloe Morgan Johnson. Alex Nathan Jordan. Let's go, Alex. Madeline Paige King. Allison Grace Kirkman. Easton Jeffrey Kirkman. Jacob Scott Kuntz. Onyx Zane Kuntz.
Lacey Marie Lamb. Savannah Haley Marie Lane. Lucas Shane Lawson. Janet Leslie Lemons. Ethan Cody Mabe. Maggie May Mackey. Ethan Tyler Seth Marshall. Michaela Hunter McLean. Dakota Adrian McDaniel. Morgan Scott McMasters. Evan Jennings Meadows. Austin Wayne Moore. Alyssa Cheyenne Moore. Nayeli Morales. George Clayton Morgan IV. Jaden Donald Eugene Myers. Logan Chase Newman. Jackson Dean Perry. Zachary Shane Phillips. John Luke Pitchford. Jacob Grayson LaVon Kylie Elena Ray. Kirsten Lillian Robbins. Kayla Alyssa Rodriguez. Caleb Stefan Rogers. Grace Marie Rania. Crystal Melanie Santos Molina. Rianne Grace Saunders. Darren Riley Savage. Logan Clark Shingler. Alexis Noel Schaffner. Anastasia Michelle Montoya Schaffner. Christian Devon Shropshire. Josiah Nicholas Simmons. Eden Aaron Smith. Mark Lindsay Smith Jr. Sander Mason Smith. Mackenzie Marie Snowden. Sarah Ashley Spivey. Logan Spencer Stevens. Jillian Elizabeth Stern. Sydney Elizabeth Steinstrup. Kendall Marie Stover. Stacy Victoria Summey. Chance P. William Tanner. Cole Allen Taylor. Colin Ray Taylor. Chase Allen Thomas. Michaela Nicole Thompson. Harrison Thomas Thorpe. Shady Jaquan Tennant. Geraldo Tomas Cruz. Tasha Elizabeth Terrain. Caitlin Marie Truitt. Delaney Paige Turner. Octavio Aguilar Senzo. Alexis Taylor Igo Vaughn. Lexa Angel Vasquez. Yami Vidal Reyes. Crystal Renee Vernon. Noah Ezekiel Watson.
Give me a yeah.
Chloe Paige Waddell. Aaliyah Marie Wade. Chloe Ann Washburn. Piper Marie Westmoreland. Jennifer Logan White. Aiden Bryce Whitmire. Taylor Ann Willard. Amber Beth Wright. Jacob Edward Warwick. Andrew James York.
Graduates, please stand. By the authority vested in me by the state of North Carolina and the Randolph County Board of Education, I pronounce you graduates of Providence Grove High School. Class of 2022, turn your tassels. Hey.